Well, might as well. Maybe I should look into the camera. It's probably the proper way of doing things. It's kind of annoying that it's up there. Alright, lay down, lay down. This is video log number 1. And let's see. I guess it's kind of difficult to find some things to say. You know, it's 9 o'clock on a Sunday. And I guess there's always shit running through my mind. I guess I'm partially doing this to feel better. Not necessarily that I feel bad, but I don't necessarily feel good right now. It's like the ups and downs of life, I suppose. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about, but I think I'll figure it out as I go along, because as I continue speaking, it gets easier and easier to say things. Today has been kind of awkward because I slept until 5 p.m. I haven't slept that much the last few nights, and I think last night, or today rather, I decided to, I guess, fully give in to my desire to sleep. And generally when I do that, when I skip the whole day in bed, it becomes, or not becomes, but life seems strange. It's kind of like that feeling of waking up from a nap. You kind of just wonder what happened and you're just confused. But that feeling kind of lingers for me. Well, I have a camera problem. Made me lose my train of thought. I am going to talk about how my day has gone. It is currently September 19th, 2021. Going to talk about some of my thoughts and do this on potentially a daily basis. I feel like this is good for my health overall. Good look at an insight into who I am, as well as the thoughts that I have recurring on a daily basis. Saying things out loud for me can be therapeutic, and I just want to get some of that out. So who am I? I am Jakub Kowalczyk, and I live in Florida. I am a musician, a music producer, a vocalist. I have a cat. His name is Leo. He's wandering about right now. Anyway, so on to the video log. Yesterday, I took some psilocybin mushrooms. It was an interesting experience. Had a bit of anxiety at first with, I took them when I was around some of my friends. And when they initially kicked in, it wasn't a very pleasant experience. But then, eventually kind of that changed, and then it became pretty pleasant, I would say, overall. Nice experience. I've taken them several times in my life. I'm overall fond of that drug. I've taken mostly natural drugs in my life. I've never tried cocaine, and I've actually never tried any like Xanax or pain pills or anything like, or benzos or anything like that. Anyway, I met up with my friend last night, a friend from a friend of a long time, and I got some beers. Unfortunately, I guess after the psilocybin mushroom trip wore off, I thought, it wore off, so I thought it was fine. But after drinking those beers and waking up today, I just felt terrible. And I had breakfast in the morning, spent some time with my current girlfriend, and I just went back to sleep. I didn't wake up until 5 p.m., which now it's 9:42 p.m. This is just pointless information. I don't know why I'm talking about all this. In terms of how I feel, how do I feel? It's strange because today was like kind of up and down. Mostly down. This was a low day, which is fine. To be honest, it's like I can't expect to feel good all the time. So it's normal to have these kinds of ups and downs. And right now I feel a little bit better. I feel like kind of good. I'm not like ecstatic or like supremely happy by any means, but I'm content currently at the moment. Especially I've realized now, talking like this, it is quite therapeutic. It looks like today, after waking up at 5 p.m., it was a bit lonely. People weren't around. It's a Sunday. The streets are empty. And so it was a little bit of a strange day. Not particularly pleasant overall. So I began realizing that watching and consuming content on my devices, my cell phone, and my computer, and primarily through YouTube, it leaves me feeling unpleasant. And I know I mentioned that word a few times now, but it makes me feel in a way that's somewhat indescribable. I wouldn't call it empty. I wouldn't call it anything. It gives me a sort of rushing feeling, and I don't believe that to be anxiety or anything like that. It's like an overload, I suppose. Come on. My cat is here. He wants to come sit down. You're walking through the cable, man. Please don't knock my mic over. So this is going to be a slightly longer one. Anyway, so I find myself not enjoying YouTube and some of the things that I have long enjoyed in my life. Creating music is still nice, but just the overall landscape of the reality that I live in has become what's the best way to describe it? I can't think of a word, but I find that the overall sentiment of people, the overall experience as a whole in society today, and the people around me, and the internet, it's let me see if I can find a word for this. Yeah, vitriolic. It's a bit caustic, but it's also there's a sense of irony in everything. And my brother had mentioned this in the past to me, and I didn't really fully grasp what he meant, and I still don't really, I'm not sure if that's the correct way to go about like understanding like what's happening, but it's funny, it's weird, because it's like I mean, see, it's like when you comment on certain things like this, it feels like people are going to be like, oh, this guy's just a hater or something like that, right? And I'm all for positive energy and positivity, or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, maybe that was previously when my first recording, my camera was messing up. But I mentioned that I'm an overall happy person, or an overall positive person. Maybe that's not accurate, but I would say that the media that is constantly shoved in our faces, it's not real, I guess you could say. It's difficult to really explain without giving certain examples, but silly motivational or positive quotes in pretty Instagram photos of some gorgeous landscape, it's not genuine. It's like fabricated with like an intent behind it, rather than like a spontaneous creation. It's for the sake of seeking attention from people who look for that sort of thing. I really don't enjoy Instagram for the most part. Occasionally you can find some things that are interesting and enjoyable, but the experience that you receive and the feelings that you get from using that platform are not it's not a good feeling. And YouTube is becoming the same way. Maybe it's just my feed or my algorithm, but I don't think so. There are some videos and some creators out there that I believe do still produce quality content, not focused on pumping out as much content as possible for the sake of generating more revenue or ads. And I don't want to sound like some doomsday person, I don't like that mentality either. Like, oh, the world's ending, it's such a horrible time and all this stuff. I don't believe that at all. It's probably the best time to be alive ever right now, right? Besides the fact that it's difficult to break away, especially if you become invested, or especially if you've grown up invested in the way that these platforms like YouTube and the internet and like the video games and just the media that I consume on a daily basis, it's difficult to escape from it, but it also doesn't leave you with a pleasant feeling. I find that like people in general, I see, man, maybe this is a problem just for me, are more distant. Yeah, so I'm not here to talk about a solution to this, or that there's really that much to be done. I think we're like kind of in too deep at this point, and it's just a part of reality at this point. it's a part of our daily existence. And I think that making the best of life and choosing what we want to do, at the end of the day, we have a choice. We don't have to consume certain content. We don't have to do certain things. And just sometimes I wonder, how I ended up in the place that I am right now. And it's not a bad place, I have a fantastic apartment and a fantastic life. I don't think in my entire life I'll ever have to worry about what I'm going to eat tomorrow, besides, like, what's going to be better? Pasta with whatever toppings or meat that I choose, or, a salad, or whatever the case may be, rice and beans and vegetables, or whatever the case may be. That's my choice. It's not a choice of whether, it's not a question of whether I will be able to eat, So when these kinds of things that when my necessities are met, there's only left a few things to worry about. And some of these things that I have to worry about are here, they're in my mind. Traveling is really exciting. It's nice, and you meet a lot of people, but I find that in my mind are some of the greatest journeys I've personally taken. And maybe that sounds a little cheesy, but it's honestly the truth. So there's still a lot more exploring to do. And it's 9:54 and I'm drinking a little cup of coffee because I'm going to go and try and do a little workout. I'm going to eat some food. And yeah, it's that's pretty much it for today. I'm not sure if any of this meant anything or was any of it was really meaningful for any reason to anybody, even including myself. Yeah. Now, I guess it's time to end the video. Hopefully I look back on this one day and think to myself, oh, what is this blabbering idiot talking about? I don't know. My kitty cat's asleep on my lap. Yeah. So with that said, hopefully the future and the videos that I create in the future will add some kind of value. Just talking senselessly into a microphone about nothing. But it feels kind of good, I guess. Anyway. Video log number 1 over. Goodbye. Peace.